All right. First off, good morning. Good morning. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the District of Brown Deer School Board meeting. I'm Dr. Beadle, the board president. I'd like to welcome everybody. A few quick housekeeping rules. Tonight we do have public comments. So if there is a public comment that you would like to be able to make, a question or a comment, please put your name and your address into the chat, and Lisa Zielinski will let us know about your comment or your question that you may have in relationship to any board business that's going on, or questions in relationship to the district. So again, if you do have any public comments, when the public comment section comes up, you need to make sure before we get to public comments that you go into the chat and you let Ms. Zielinski know your name and your address, and to be able to make your question and or comment. All right, with that being said, verification of a public notice. The meeting has been publicly noticed. Verification of quorum. We have all 7 board members in attendance. Approval of the agenda as presented. Would someone like to make a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
So moved, Dr. Beadle.
Thank you very much, Ms. Ashley. A motion has been made. Do we have a second?
I will second, Dr. Beadle.
Thank you very much, Ms. Peterson. Motion has been made and seconded. Any conversation or questions? Hearing and seeing none, all in favor with raised hand and/or aye. All right, motion carries unanimously 7-0. And sorry. Excuse me one second. All right, in our mission statement, together with our families and community, we will inspire students to be passionate learners, creative thinkers, and innovative leaders who enrich our world. All right, let's go on to our next item is our district communication, and Dr. Kelsey Brown, the district administrator's report, please.
Good evening, board members and community members. It brings me great pleasure this evening to shed some light on the district administrator's report. And if there aren't any questions, and then I will go right into our district showcase for this evening. Just a few updates around what we have been working on as the entire cabinet and the district. As we know, last Monday was the first day without facial coverings in our district. We know COVID numbers are low, but we also understand we are not out of the woods yet, but wanted to share with the community, everyone, no matter what option students or staff are choosing, it's what it is at this point. And if students or staff are choosing to wear a facial covering, great. And if not, it's all working out very well. With that being said, on the second Saturday in March, we also hosted the vaccination clinic in partnership with Health Connections. Erica is our contact person there. On that Saturday, we had 24 people who came to receive COVID vaccinations. We are continuing to plan for next year, of course. We have bi-weekly budget meetings with Mr. Klimick, our business director, to make sure we are in a good place as far as the budget is concerned. Last Monday, Monday and Tuesday, I had an opportunity to attend the Women Leading Women's Conference, which was a great professional development opportunity for women all across the state in from various organizations. Our very own President Wanda Montgomery served on a panel for that particular conference, and it was a job well done. In addition, I have had an opportunity to meet with a local clergy men from the community who is interested in providing support to the district in terms of working with students, anywhere from tutoring, recess duty, areas where we might need some additional support in the district. So we are working to see if we can work that out. In addition, last week I attended the jazz concert. Thank you to Mr. Brownfield for an amazing job that he did with our middle and our high school students. As I always say, with our students in the band, and the band played on. They did a very, very nice job last week. And so that's just a few updates in terms of what we've been working on as far as the district is concerned. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer. All right.
All right, all right. Let's go on to our, okay, so we got our administrators report and district showcase. Dr. Kelsey Brown, are we gonna, is the musical people, are they gonna come on?
We have a couple students on for the
Okay.
showcase.
All right, so let's go on to our district showcase. Dr. Kelsey Brown?
All right, thank you very much. So just want to recognize our students as we always do in our district showcase. So in February, the high school student council organized a very impressive blood drive with the help from Ms. Richardson, who I believe, oh yes, I see you, Ms. Richardson, who is on with us this evening. Ms. Richardson is a high school administrative assistant, cheerleading coach, and also student council advisor. Our high school student council is made up of 9 members who continue to go out of their way to make a difference for our high school and our community. Members of the student council exceeded their goal by collecting 50 units of blood with the original goal of 42 units of blood. Yes. Yay. Thank you to the Brown Deer students, staff, and community members who gave blood during this event. Because of these contributions, up to 150 people in need will receive a blood donation. Under Ms. Richardson's leadership, the Student Council has sponsored families for the holidays, giving more than $1,000 to our families. Those families included a student who lost a parent to a terminal illness, a family that was severely impacted by COVID-19, and also parents who represented low-income households. The Student Council also organized the Sadie Hawkins Dance with proceeds going towards a scholarship for a student to use to further their education or towards life expenses if they are not attending college in the fall. This group continues to do amazing work for Brown Deer throughout the year, and I am proud to recognize each and every one of you on today. And we have Ms. Richardson on today. Ms. Richardson, if you'd like to say a few words, please feel free to do so. And if we have any students from Student Council on, they may share their experiences with us as well. We can't hear you, Ms. Richardson. You are unmuted, so I'm not sure. She's typing in the chat.
She mentioned her mic isn't working,
Okay.
but
All
I think her smiles speak for
Yes, speaks volumes.
speaks volumes. Yeah.
Thank you, Ms. Richardson, for your leadership with working with our student council. You are greatly appreciated. All right, now let me move on to our next event on Saturday, March 12th. Our very own middle and high school students represented Brown Deer in 4 different events at the Wisconsin Music Association Solo Ensemble Music Festival. This ensemble draws in more than 100,000 students each year, representing every county in the state of Wisconsin. Through the solo and ensemble experience, students learn the discipline of rehearsal, are challenged to advance their musical skills, perform in front of an audience and adjudicator, and receive feedback on their performance. Those who perform at the highest level at a WSMA district festival have an opportunity to advance on to the state solo and ensemble festival. I am proud to say 15 of our Brown Deer students, under the direction of our musical director, Mike Chappell, qualified for state and earned a superior rating based on their performances. For the handbell ensemble, Aaliyah Beckett Schreiber, Daniel Bork, London Downey, Ava Hayes, Jacob Highland, Sarah Highland, Ben Kastenmeyer, Lola Linhart, Lucas Linhart, Ethan Bang, Amara Vasilou, and Mary Wells were all part of the handbell ensemble. And I see a couple of our students on this evening from the handbell ensemble. So we could give them a round of applause. That would be greatly appreciated. For chamber singers, we have Aaliyah Beckett Schreiber, Ava Hayes, Shannon Higgins, Vanessa Kavam, Mary Wells, and Amina Willis. So those are our chamber singers. So give them a round of applause, please. And our women's duet, Aaliyah Beckett Schreiber and Mary Wells. Thank you for continuing to represent Brown Deer in fine arts and showcasing your musical talents for all to hear. Good luck at State on May 7th. So we will keep you all in our thoughts for May 7th. And I see Daniel Bork on. Daniel, would you like to share your experience with us this evening?
For the handbell ensemble, we rehearse every Wednesday morning. Around 6:45 is when we start, so that's before school. And we've been playing the piece that we played almost every week since the fall. So we've been working really hard towards that, and we're happy to be at State.
Thank you, Daniel. And I do have a statement from Mr. Chappell. He would have been with us this evening, however, had a previous engagement. And in Mr. Chappell's words, many thanks to the board and Dr. Kelsey Brown for the invitation, and especially the recognition of these young musicians. It is an honor and pleasure to work with them. I wanted to also mention that these groups rehearse before school from 6:45 to 7:30 a.m. They and their families are giving extra time, effort to participate in and support our handbell ensemble and chamber singers. Based on their recent successes, it is clear that their time is well spent. Congratulations, students. Thank you, parents, Dr. Brown, administrators, staff, and board members. And that comes from our very own Mr. Chappell. So kudos to Mr. Chappell. Round of applause. Thank you, Mr. Chappell. And thank you, Mr. Bork, for your remarks. And then finally, and last but not least, we would like to recognize one of our very own board members. This evening, we would like to recognize Board President, Dr. Todd Beadle. Dr. Beadle has been recognized. This is a surprise for him, I think. Dr. Beadle has been recognized by the Wisconsin Association of School Boards for his high level of commitment to Wisconsin public schools. The WASB's member recognition program tracks the professional development of board members who may be awarded based on a points system. Members receive points by attending the state education convention, participating in workshops, and a variety of other professional development opportunities. Dr. Beadle has been recognized for the amount of training opportunities he has attended that were focused on student achievement and improving public education by the Wisconsin Association of School Boards and/or the National School Board Association. Thank you, Dr. Beadle, for going above and beyond to help the students of Brown Deer continue on a successful academic journey. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. Round of applause for Dr. Beadle.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Definitely surprised. Okay.
And we do have your certificate, so we'll make sure you get that before we adjourn this evening.
All right.
So-
Thank you very much.
Thank you, and that ends the district showcase.
All right. Okay. So now we want to go to public comments. Ms. Zielinski, do we have anyone outside of myself? I have a public comment, actually.
Yeah, just yourself.
All right. Well, I'll actually start with my public comment, and my public comment is to announce that on Wednesday, March 23rd at 6:00 p.m., the Brown Deer Elementary School PTO is sponsoring a school board candidate forum. And we actually have five individuals actually that are running for school board. 4 are listed, and one is as a write-in: Mark Jarman, Dorothea Macon, Sheena Polachowski, Lisa Walker, and Nicole Sick. So this meeting again is at 6:00 on Wednesday. It is a Zoom. Please go on to the Brown Deer community website page, and you'll be able to get the Zoom link for that at 6:00 for the candidates that will be running for school board at the April 3rd election. So again, if you're able to, and you have questions, and you want to be able to hear some of the comments and some of the things for the individuals that are running for school board, please make sure that you are available at 6:00 by Zoom to be able to do the candidate forum.
The election is April
Oh,
5th.
April 5th, I'm sorry, I was looking at my 3 from my other thing. So, but April 5th for the election, I'm sorry. Apologies. Ms. Zelinski, anyone else for public comment?
No, not this evening.
All right, well, as usual, we'll give it one more moment. And on another note, I'm so proud of our students for all of the achievements that they're doing. I mean, our kids are doing such wonderful, wonderful things and representing the District of Brown Deer at the state level, at the regional levels, the sectional levels. I mean, you know, I think that's the reason why we do as board members, we do what we do in order for our students to have that exposure, to be able to represent themselves, be able to represent their district proudly, and being able to I mean, you know, be able to do that, whether it's an individual, whether or not it's individual or teams, to be able to do that. And again, I'm just so proud of our students and the work that they do. And it wouldn't even be possible without the support of those parents, working with those students, and our staff, our amazing staff, working and getting our students prepared, and just being able to be that guiding force in order to be able to do that. So I'd be remiss if I did not say that. So Lisa.
No, no one else this evening.
All right, well, let's go ahead and let's move forward. Let's go on to item 4, A, B, C. Oh, well, I'm sorry, hold on, let me see. We're gonna have to kind of change this up a little bit. All right, would someone like to make a motion to approve the minutes?
Wait, Dr. Beadle?
Yep.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes.
Well, one question, is the minutes included in the consent agenda? I think it's all one motion.
Well, but there's one piece that's in there, that's item C, is the school safety drill update, and that's gonna be made by Jody.
No, that's still part of the consent agenda.
Okay, you know what then? Let's do this.
It's all together.
I know, but Jody was given a presentation part for it.
No,
It's-
I just have that memo in case any board members have any questions, but that can absolutely be included as part of the consent agenda.
All right, yeah, because we had it in there and stuff, and that's the reason why I stopped, because I had a note about Jody and potentially having something to say about the safety drill update part. So if not, there isn't an update, then we can't do the consent agenda for items 4A through D. Miss Ashley.
Okay, Dr. Beadle, I make a motion to approve the consent agenda, including the minutes of the February 8th, 2022 special board meeting, the minutes of the February 22nd, 2022 regular board meeting, the March 22nd, 2022 school safety drill update, and the schedule of voucher payments via check, ACH, and wire transfer in the amount of $821,412.83 in the general checking account and the food service account, including funds 10, 21, 27, 39, 47, 49, 50, 72, and 80.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Ashley. A motion has been made. Do we have a second?
I will second.
Thank you very much, Ms. Robinson. Motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion before we go to vote? Hearing and seeing none, all in favor with raised hand and or aye. All right, motion carries unanimously 7-0. All right, let's go on to our item number 5, approval of new hires. Mr. Clemming.
Good evening, board members. We have no new hires to approve this evening.
All right, again, that's good news, hopefully. All right, I will take it. Kevin, Mr. Clemming, approval of resignations?
We also have no resignations to approve this evening.
All right, so no news is good news. So we'll take it. Thank you very much, Mr. Clemming. All right, let's go on to our item number C. And this will actually have to go into a roll call vote.
Correct. So this is just, I'll just real briefly, for those who aren't aware of what we're doing. The last 2 years, we have over levied in Fund 39 for debt service while still reducing property taxes. So we are formalizing the process of taking $1 million or just under $1 million and putting it into an escrow account that will be used to prepay a set of our bonds from the 2018 referendum that will come due in March of 2027. So this is just formalizing that process. There's a lot of paperwork involved, but what will happen is by prepaying that debt 10 years early, we will save about $491,000 in interest costs over the life of that bond. So, so it's a great way to, again, use our increase in state aid to kind of control the levy, have a little bit of levy stability, and then use some excess funds to prepay debt and save long-term interest costs. So it is probably something we'll be discussing next year as well.
All right, sounds good, Kevin. Thank you so much for that. And I'm quite sure the community is definitely happy about being able to potentially save almost $500,000 in interest in the long term. So with that being said, would someone like to be able to make the motion for the roll call vote?
Yes. Dr. Vito, I'd like to make a motion with roll call vote to approve the resolution authorizing the transfer of funds, the establishment of an escrow account with respect to, and the defeasance of certain of the general obligation school building and improvement bonds dated July 10th, 2018.
All right, thank you very much. So now with that motion being made, do we have a second?
I'll second, Dr. Vito.
All right, thank you very much, Nicole. All right, motion has been made and seconded. Ms. Robinson.
Do we have any discussion before we take the vote?
Again, any discussion? I'm sorry. Any discussion? No? Ms. Robinson?
All right, Vito,
Aye.
Daniels Ashley,
Aye.
Peterson,
Aye.
Robinson, aye, Smith,
Aye.
Zick,
Aye.
and Zelinski.
Aye.
All right, 7-0, ayes have it.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Sounds good. Okay. All right, let's go on now to our item number D, the purchase or lease of a food service van. Mr. Clement.
I just wanted to broach the subject with the board. You don't have to approve anything tonight, but as you know that throughout the pandemic with the federal reimbursement for food service for breakfast and lunch, we continue to every month add to what is a very large fund balance in Fund 50. So we continue to find ways to spend that down. DPI will continue to hound us to do that. We know we've done a couple things already. We've ordered our pod or provisions on demand system that will be installed in the North Commons this summer and be available next fall for our students. We're also looking at some smaller pieces of equipment. And I also mentioned in an update a while back that we're looking at fork farms. So I actually have 2 units that I'll be approving to order tomorrow at a cost of about $8,000 total. So we're going to be starting that where we'll have some a self-sustainable vegetable garden basically that we'll have available to our students year round. So we're working through that. But one of the items then that I wanted to at least mention to you is that with the addition of the, the offsite alternative schooling with the middle school, having to deliver lunches there, having to deliver food and materials in between the buildings, and occasionally the food service staff having to run out. They do currently kind of share the general maintenance van that we have, which is not in great shape and it is a little bit old. So one of the things we did think is this might be the time. Again, the funds are available to either purchase or lease a van. And I'm looking at, obviously, that with supply chain issues, used vans any used vehicle right now is very expensive. Sometimes new might be better. So I'm going through the process now, but I just wanted to make sure the board was kind of okay moving in that direction. And when I get to the point where I have an actual definitive offer, either one way or the other, I'll be bringing that to you for approval because it will be in excess of the threshold that I would want the board to approve. So.
All right, board members, do you have questions for Kevin in relationship to this? I actually do have a question, Kevin. Would it be while we're in the process of trying to do this, would we be able to potentially also use the vans that the mini buses or vans that we purchased for the district, was that about 3 years ago?
Oh, we could. They're set up as passenger vans, and they're used quite a bit, especially later in the day this time of year, especially with the sports and other activities. So we do have those. Those were purchased through Fund 10. This is an opportunity because we could use the van. We could use Fund 50, which again, we have a lot of money sitting in there that we would need to spend down at some point. The one caveat is that this van would have to be exclusively used for food service. So this would not be a van we'd be able to transport students for other things. It's a food service only van. So our food service staff would be using it either, like I said, to shuttle things back and forth, to deliver food to an alternative site, and also to, like I said, if they needed to run to, a grocery store or something to pick up something, which they do occasionally for some small items. They have that ability of doing that with the van instead of using personal vehicles.
Okay. All right. All right. Any other board members have any other questions for Kevin in relationship to this?
So just wanted to clarify, so is there anything else that we could potentially use Fund 50 funds for that could also serve the district well, that we may want to compare the two?
I don't think you're going to run out of money to do things. I mean, every district that's participating in the program obviously is experiencing an excessive fund balance right now. The one disadvantage, if you want to call it, that we have is right before the pandemic, we completed a referendum project in which we redid all of our kitchens. So we have a lot of new equipment in those spaces. So there isn't a lot of existing things that we need to replace. I have asked Aramark to take an inventory because I think we did repurpose some things. But even then, if they're in good shape, I don't want to just throw things out. But we are also looking at other things. So whether it's some other equipment, we're talking about things like trying to think like a grill press for sandwiches, or perhaps something for ice cream, kind of things to help enhance the food service overall. We're not going to run out of funds anytime soon. We continue to add to that. So I'm not worried about that piece of it. I think this will be a useful purchase, and there's going to be plenty of opportunities for other things. Because right now, even with the pod and the fork farms that we're looking at right now, we probably it's about $100,000 in total. And as I mentioned in my update, we're currently approaching $1 million of fund balance, which is a lot more than DPI wants to see. So we'll have to find other ways to do it. And obviously a van is a large ticket purchase to be able to do some of that I think would be helpful. I know Jody just threw in a comment about the walk-in freezer. Absolutely, we can look at things like that as well. But again, we will continue to be getting the reimbursements through the end of the school year. So we still have several more months where we're going to be seeing some surpluses. Again, I'm worried about funding enough things that DPI won't bother us anymore about spending money. I'm not as worried about not having those opportunities. So but we are going to make smart decisions. We're not just going to spend the money to spend the money.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. Two more pieces today, Kevin. So now, would this van only be used by our staff, or would it be used also by Aramark?
Well, technically it would be primary. It has to be used for food service. So I mean, generally speaking, Aramark or their staff, because obviously all of the food service staff are Aramark employees. But it would be a district van that would be available for that purpose. If there was something where one of our employees needed to do something food service related, that would also be a potential use for it. We just can't use it as a general cargo van and be using it for maintenance pickups and other things. It has to be specifically for food service.
Okay, and then I guess my next question part then, since we're doing it that way, will we also still be able to write it off, do the depreciation for the van?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Any other questions?
So again, I will bring it back to the board when I have, a decision, and so hopefully in the next few weeks we'll have something available. Again, the supply is limited, and we might be waiting a little bit regardless of which direction we go. So.
All right, sounds good. All right. Okay, our next discussion is item E, discussion and approval of the 2022-2023 board calendar. Board members, we got an opportunity to look at and discuss about the board calendar for 2022, 2023. Does anyone have any questions in relationship to our board calendar as it's presented? Yes, Ms. Peterson.
Hi, yes. I don't have any questions about any particular dates, but I'm just wondering why, if our calendar year is July through June, why does the calendar itself go from April to April?
Wait,
And-
could you repeat that one more time?
Sure. Our fiscal year is July 1st through June 30th of each
All right.
given year.
Mhm.
But the calendar goes from April to April. Why wouldn't the calendar be for the true fiscal year for the school?
Monica?
I believe the calendar let me say it's been like that since I've arrived, one. And two, I believe it's aligned with the election cycle
Right.
from April to April.
April.
Mhm.
Yes, because the board, your first step on the calendar is the organization meeting, which will be
meeting.
next month, and then that'll
Okay.
carry through the next April. So it's really a board, that's really the board year.
Right, again, so since it's the board calendar, yeah, so.
Okay, all right,
Okay.
thank you.
So I have a question. Are we meeting next year during spring break?
Is it on there?
Yeah. Don't we typically miss spring break? Or,
Is that
or change the date for that?
Yes, we
Yeah,
don't,
we
we
do.
don't.
Don't.
Typically, usually we don't meet on during spring break.
Correct.
Mm,
Something else, hold on.
Did we miss that one last time, Ms. Robinson? We must,
Thought we did.
okay. I'm
I thought we
pulling it
talked
up.
about, I thought we talked about that though. I thought we changed.
I don't remember that one. Let me
Hold on,
pull it up.
let me see. Pull it up now, boom, boom, boom.
Correct. Dr. Bill
Okay,
is showing up as
so-
20. yeah, Sorry.
All right, so. April. All right, so spring break,
It's March, the last week of March.
March 27th through the 31st. And we do have that meeting set up there on the 28th, don't we?
Correct. So
So- So whatever.
You know
your
what, we
pleasure-
can, so let's do this. If we can, now, here's our options. We can do the 14th and the 21st, or we can switch it and just change and go the Tuesday, March 7th and do March 21st. Board members, do you get it? So now we can either do this. We could either leave the meeting on the 14th and then have a meeting on the 21st instead of the 28th, or we could move our meeting in March and go March 7th and the 21st.
Or you can have one real
Great.
long one on the 14th. One real long one on the 14th. I mean, that's the other option too. though. One real long one.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, one-
I don't think we want to be here till midnight. So,
Possibility.
so, yeah, that is true. That's a real one, but yeah, I don't know about that one. But again, I won't take anything off the table.
Yeah,
So board members, thoughts?
Yeah, I'm good either way.
Is,
Same
Was-
here.
was there an option without the 21st? Was that the first option?
Well, the options were
I got
we could go the
confused.
7th and the 21st, or we could leave the 14th and then do the 21st.
Okay.
So you can either have them back to back Tuesdays, or we switch it and go to 7th and the 21st. Or I guess the third option would be, is what Dr. Garrison said was, well, we want to have one big, long meeting on the 14th.
That's the option.
And
I'll just-
I'm sitting here looking at Lisa. Lisa's like, I ain't even gotta worry about this one, so y'all do what you want.
I know, I wasn't gonna say anything because it doesn't pertain to me, but if you do move the 7th, then you'll end up with February 28th and the 7th, 2 weeks in a row. So
Yeah,
either
we'll
way-
actually do three
so
weeks-
either way-
3 weeks in a way.
Yeah. So I would vote for Mr. Garrison's suggestion and keep the agenda short.
Oh, me too.
Creativity, look at that.
All right,
Just-
so are we saying we just want to have one meeting in March, which would be 14th, which would be
it
a
would be-
long meeting?
Just the business meeting.
Technically by law, though, but we still have to have the,
One, we have to have at least one, right?
right.
The business
it has to
meeting.
be a-
Mhm.
The business meeting you need. You don't have to have the work session.
Right, okay, yeah, okay.
You can make
All right,
exceptions to your policy. That's just a
Right.
board policy for the work session.
Okay, what is everybody going, so, okay, let's do this, let's vote. All right, who votes for just having one meeting in March and having it on the 14th and it to be our straight business meeting? Raise hand and or aye. Just the 14th, we just have one meeting on the 14th, that's it.
What's the question?
Um,
What was your question?
Is the long meeting on the 7th or the 14th?
14th is.
The 14th,
14th, because that's what's on the calendar.
that's what's on the calendar, it's the 14th, it'll be the long meeting, will be on the 14th,
Dr. Beadle,
yes.
if you are gonna do only one meeting and the business meeting, it does take us a while to do the vouchers and you're gonna want to approve the vouchers. So I would make this one meeting on the 21st. If you don't want to do back-to-back meetings, but doing it the 14th, that might be hard for us to get everything reconciled from February and have it ready for you on the 14th. We usually would have it around the 28th or 20th.
So if we did it on the 21st, then we're doing this board meeting during spring break.
No, the 28th would be spring break.
28th is spring break. So do we just want to change it then to have it just be on the 21st then, you think?
If you want one meeting, I guess that would be better than trying to get the one meeting on the 14th, because then you'd be 6 weeks between business meetings. So
All right, so I guess now the thought is having one board meeting on March 21st. Yes, Ms. Peterson, are we voting yes for that? Okay, all right, how many people are in favor of one meeting, March 21st? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, Lisa would, of course, she'd abstain. Okay, all right, so that's 501. And then the other option is having a board meeting on the 7th and the 14th. Anybody approve of the 7th and the 14th? No? All right, so Stacy, which one are you voting for? You're on mute. You're on mute.
I will do the second. I'll be the lone person because I won't be there on the 21st.
Okay. All right, well, with that being said, I guess we did the vote and it goes 5-1-1 for approval of the meeting to be on the 21st of March of 2023. Okay. All right, so let's make that change to that. So now with that being said, would someone like to make a motion to approve the board calendar with the changes?
Dr. Beto, I'd like to make a motion to approve the 2022-2023 board calendar with the amendment of removing the March 28th, 2022 meeting and having one board meeting for March on March 21st, 2022.
All right, thank you very much, Nicole. Motion has been made. Do we have a second?
Dr. Beto, I'll second.
Thank you very much, Ms. Peterson. Motion has been made and seconded. Any other further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all in favor with raised hand and or aye? All right, motion carries unanimously 7-0. And I would be remiss because I'm trying to wonder why Stacy would not want that meeting to happen on that date. But then I have to go back into my memory bank and we just had someone that just had a birthday. But we will not say, I will never say a woman's age, but let's just say now she's over 21. So Stacy Smith, happy belated birthday. So I had to think about, like, why would she not want to have it on the 21st? Oh,
Thank you,
it's her
thank
birthday.
you. We actually, I'm leaving town, so I'm not just sitting in the house not coming, but thank you.
All right, sounds good. Okay, thank you very much. All right, Mr. Garrison, let's go on to our instructional calendar. Dr. Garrison.
Sure. At our lowest board meeting, the administrative team proposed a district calendar with input from the teachers and administration. As you all know, between our last board meeting, of course, this board meeting, there was one slight change. With this, there was a change to the elementary calendar, elementary schedule, which we needed to add 5 minutes to the end of the day. So the change is to move from a 3:25 end of the day to a 3:30 end of the day for the elementary school. This change is needed because from a minute perspective, which breaks down to 240 minutes in the morning and then of course 240 minutes in the afternoon. So therefore our 4K calendar and our 5K calendar could actually kind of mirror each other. And so that's the change that we have proposed in this new update. Other than that, everything pretty much remained the same from our last discussion. Mr. Clement, did I miss anything in that explanation at all?
No, but just to clarify, it was 2 hours and 40 minutes.
2 hours and 40 minutes. Sorry.
Not 240 minutes. Yeah, but that was, yeah, we did notice a small error in the afternoon schedule for the 4K, so we had to tweak that a little bit. So.
I don't know, Jody, are you speaking or are you? Did you mute?
No, I'm sorry, I'm not speaking.
Oh, okay. I saw your mouth moving or whatever, so I didn't know.
I'm
if you were
talking to
trying
myself. It's a bad habit.
Did you answer yourself?
I always do, and I resort to that quite frequently.
Hey, I hear you. All right, sounds good. All right, so with that being said, any questions for Mr. Garrison? Or Mr. Clement in relationship to this instructional calendar before we make our motion? All right, would someone like to make a motion to approve it?
Dr. Beadle, it's Lisa.
All right, thank you.
I make a motion to approve the 2023 4K and K5 to 12 instructional calendars as presented.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Linsky. A motion has been made. Do we have a second?
Dr. Beadle, I'll second the motion.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ashley. Motion has been made and seconded. Any further discussion? All right, hearing and seeing none. All in favor with raised hand and/or aye. All right, motion carries unanimously 7-0. Thank you very much. All right, let's go on to our item G, approval of the Board of Canvassers. All right, so on Monday, April 11th at 8:30 a.m., we have our municipal Board of Canvass that has to happen. And then we have members that will represent us in relationship to that official notice and agenda. It is a public meeting, and the date and time and location are below. So it'll be Municipal Board of Canvass meeting, Monday, April 11th at 8:30 a.m. The location will be at the Village of Brown Deer Village Hall, Conference Room 101, 4800 West Greenbrook Drive, Brown Deer, Wisconsin, 53223. And the members are Karen Brustman, Donna Zimmer, and Nancy Hoppy. And then, if I'm not mistaken, do we have Ms. Robinson? Who are the two individuals that will also be representing us?
That's going to be Ms. Ellen Shimmons and Ms. Kathy Kelsler.
All right. So just wanted to let everyone know in relationship to that Board of Canvassers meeting that will be happening. So would someone like to be able to make a motion to approve Kathy Kelsler and Ellen Shimmons as the School District of Brown Deer Canvassers for the upcoming meeting? Even though I think there's got to be some kind of so we've got April 5th and April 11th.
Yes,
Monica,
so the election is on April 5th, but the
Right.
canvassing will happen
on
on
the
April
11th. Okay, all right, sounds good. All right, would someone like to make a motion to approve?
I will make the motion to approve Kathy Kelser and Ellen Shimmons as the School District of Brown Deer Board of Canvassers for the upcoming April 5th spring election as presented.
Thank you very much, Robinson. The motion has been made. Do we have a second?
I'll second, Dr. Beto.
Thank you very much, Ms. Zick. Motion has been made and seconded. Any other further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all in favor with raised hand and/or aye. All right, motion carries unanimously, 7-0. All right, thank you very much. All right, now let's go on to our board reports. Ms. Ashley, our SWSA and our legislative update.
So members of the board and community, I did attend the meeting on March 8th, where we got our final COVID-19 update from the representatives of Children's Hospital. Quite a bit of time was spent discussing the statewide coalition that is being formed. And basically, this is a long-term strategy to just enlist business and industry leaders around K-12, education and these folks becoming champions. Our next meeting is April 12th, and it is at 7:15 a.m. And that pretty much concludes my report for the SWSA. Okay, not sure if I can hear you, but I can't hear you. You're not coming through.
I'm sorry, I was on mute. All right, and let's go to our WASB update. Ms. Ashley.
Okay, again, this report is very brief. So the legislature has wrapped up the 21-22 season. And the legislature has passed more than a dozen K-12 education bills. And they are now headed to the governor's desk for either a signature or veto. And if you want to know more about those bills, you can go to WASB's website by just getting those detailed bills. And that pretty much oh, wait a minute, nope, that doesn't include my report. One other thing, there is a webinar that is scheduled for March 25th for Wisconsin After School Network, and a DPI will host a webinar about grant opportunities for to fund comprehensive summer and after school programs. And that concludes my report.
All right, thank you very much, Ms. Ashley. All right, let's go to our Ed Foundation report. Ms. Robinson.
All right. Not a whole lot new to report for the foundation, but one thing that I do want to mention is that today is Give Education Day, which is a fundraiser for the foundation to raise funds to support the efforts of our students and our teachers in our schools. So that information can be found on the Education Foundation of Brown Deer's webpage, as well as Facebook page, where you can go and donate to contribute to the efforts of the foundation for the district. So that is happening not today, I'm sorry, tomorrow, the 23rd. So I encourage you all to support the foundation in that effort this year.
All right. Thank you very much. All right, and let's go on to our Parks and Recreation report. Anita.
Sure. Our Park and Rec Committee met on March 1st. And basically it was an introduction to our new Park and Rec Director, Ms. Danielle Gross. She talked a little bit about the job, her role, her new duties, and as she strives to get acclimated to these new responsibilities. She gave updates on the meetings that she has attended since she has been in the position, people that she had met with as she attempts to move forward in this new role. For the most part, that was what the meeting was regarding. And our next meeting is being held on April 5th, 2022.
All right, thank you very much. And if everybody can see on the chat, there is a website for people to be able to go through for Ms. Robinson in relationship to the Education Foundation. So that is in the chat itself. All right, let's go on to item number 7. Our board planning calendar, March 28th through to April 1st is spring break, so there's no school. April 4th, school resumes. The 12th of April, our special school board meeting here in the South Commons at 6 p.m. The 13th, the Browndale Athletic Booster Club meets in the Browndale Middle School Commons at 6:30. April 15th is Good Friday. It's a holiday, so there's no school. April 26th is our regular board meeting in the Commons area at 6 p.m. May 20th is Professional Learning Day, so there's no school. May 28th is the high school graduation. Oh yeah, I know those seniors will be definitely happy about that one. And May 30th is Memorial Day holiday, and there will be no school. So that is an update on our board planning calendar. With that being said, would someone like to make a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All right, a motion has been made by Ms. Ashley. Motion has been made. Do we have a second?
I'll second, Dr. Beadle.
Thank you very much, Ms. Peterson. Motion has been made and seconded. All in favor with raised hand and/or aye? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Motion carries unanimously 7-0. Our meeting is now adjourned at 6:54 p.m. Wow. I believe we made it through this meeting in under an hour. Great job, ladies and gentlemen, board members for being prepared, staff members for having all of the information ready and at our disposal to be able to have our meeting moves swiftly. Thank our parents and community members that are also here, and our staff. Thank you, everybody. Everyone have a wonderful remainder of your evening, and even better week. And we will see you next time.
Dr. Beadle,
Yes.
I'm sorry. Can we mention we're on spring break? Do we have to mention spring break next week? Happy spring break, everybody. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, because I did mention it March 28th through to April 1st. There is spring break, so there
Okay,
was no school. So
sorry to interrupt. Just wanted to make
Okay.
sure. Yeah,
all
thank you.
right. So I guess everybody have a happy, wonderful spring break as well too. All right, everybody, have a good one. Good night.
Good night.